to my dance, but it might be the same. Why, yeah, girl.
Man from the Leo, GK, but really boiled down to key 10 my ratio. Puffing up and up in my grace like inspirations. I got assurance, so I know that I pray. I check the life lane, but how the four lanes and full blood suffering.
Welcome back to Camera Farmer, and as you can see, there's been a little change. I'm now using a different camera. Before, in the first two shows, I used an Action 5 with the mic, DJI mic. Sounds great, but it is very wide angle, and even though there's a de-warp in it, it is a bit distorted, and it was a great way to set up quickly and conveniently. But what I've done, I've brought down my Elgato face cam, 1080p one, not the new 4K one, but 1080 is fine, it's all we need. And I'm also using my Rode X, I can't remember the model, little rectangle blocky one, mic, which does sound very different. It does sound, these little mics on the DJI are really good. They're great, but they're outdoor mics. They're not really designed for indoors the way this is. And it sounds fantastic. Also, I've got a light up here, a light here, and most importantly, a lava lamp. I'm trying. We'll see how this goes. The lighting's still all over the place. I've still got light in my glasses, and yeah, it's a work in progress, and you'll see it get better over time, hopefully. That's the plan. But so far, a bit more appropriate camera, lighting, mic. It's a start. This week, I want to concentrate on the Camp Snap's standard colour filter, because I've never used it. This week, I want to concentrate on the Camp Snap's standard colour filter, because I've never used it. I don't know what standard colour looks like on this camera. I usually shoot, as I've said in the previous show, I shoot in black and white mainly for hobby, for work, it's colour. But this is something that I've not used yet, and I'm really curious to see what it looks like. Now, I don't want to get bogged down in colour science, exposure. I don't care, because that's not what this camera is about. It's about taking a in-colour, general colour picture, but I want to see how usable it is. If you take pictures yourself, you'll realise that in cheaper cameras, sometimes reds can be, actually in sometimes more expensive cameras, reds can be difficult. Can look very flat, or they can be a bit pink and washed out. It's sometimes difficult. So we'll see what happens. I'll go out and take pictures of things that are, rather than just the usual greys and greens around here, I'll try and find things with colour, even just cars, something with a lot of reflections in it, a lot of tone changes, to see how they actually come out. But I don't think it's something I'm going to dwell on that much. Now, my feelings towards colour is, of course, it's necessary, but I've been out at night taking black and white pictures, and you've seen these beams of colour. And when you take in black and white, you're like, oh, I wish I had colour. So this is why I carry two Camp Snaps, one in colour and one black and white. But the colour I use on this is either the vintage, or I've made like my own filter that you can get on their website. You can make your own filters, but I've never used the standard, so this is going to be very interesting. Going to go out during the day. Well, again, that would be another thing we'd have to do, is test it at night, actually, now I think about it, to see what the colours are like at night, to see how that actually, if the noise is going to be a bit overwhelming, because the noise in black and white looks great. I love the noise that they've got on it. It gives it a really older look, but it's not a distracting digital noise. It's a good thing to look at, and actually can add a lot to the image. This, like that, I'm not going to worry about colour science and all that side of it. Taking these cameras out, if I'm shooting with these or anything else I've got, I'm definitely going to maybe look more in depth to the colour and how these two compare from first generation to fifth. Things like that I'll do, because it's a bit more important to have more accurate colour, or a better colour, something more attractive to look at on a camera like that. The Camp Snap doesn't take you down that route. It's a bit like whatever you get, you get. I love that with older cameras, because sometimes you will get an older camera that's a bit flawed, but those flaws, there's just something visually in it that makes it really appealing. For example, I have good cameras, Sony's, that I use for work, but my favourite digital camera, well, apart from the Camp Snap, of course, and I love all the DJI stuff, but they're all different purposes. But the one I use that's a sort of better quality is a very old Panasonic G2. I use it with a kit lens that come with it. You don't need to worry about anything like too expensive on it. I have a I can't remember, is it 16mm, 20mm? I can't remember, CCTV lens that I put on. It gives you this very lens baby distorted look. But I don't know what it is about that camera, but in black and white, it just shoots just the way I want a black and white image to look. And I think they came out in 2010. So you can pick one of them up for £100 with a lens, and you can go out and take some really deep looking artistic images. Just don't expect it to run like a brand new camera with really good autofocus or the colour sciences. Just expect it to be an old camera, and if you're artistic with it, it's got a lot to offer, and it's one of my favourite cameras I've ever owned. And I think I originally got it to use it to film on, and I think it was 720p. I don't film on it now. I use all 4K stuff now, but and I was filming with it, and then I found myself putting it in square format and just going out and taking black and white photos, and the black and white on it just works. It's hard to explain. Again, this is purely artistic. You can't take advice from me. This is just me talking about my stuff. I mean, I'm a grown man wearing a Debbie Gibson t-shirt. You can't listen to me about anything. But I will sort of explore all these cameras here as much as I do these, because this is what's recently got me back into just getting out and taking pictures. I got into this sort of phase where I was planning pictures. I had an idea of a shot I wanted to take, and then you would wait for the right light and get it. And that's still fun. That's still something to do. But this, wherever you are, click, 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 taking pictures, might work, might not, doesn't matter. But it makes it for, this has happened already. I've been out and about, and I thought, that's kind of nice shot. Take a couple of pictures. And you go back and you went, I could never have planned that. When you're looking at it on the computer, you go, I could never have planned that. And the only reason that image exists now is because it's this camera. It was a spur of the moment thing. There was no planning. And I previously owned, I sold it just last year. I had a Fuji X100S, which I used all the time. But it is it's got so much on it. It looks so good. But from day one, I never found it an inspiring camera. I never found it fun. And I'm lucky enough in the position now that even though I do take pictures for work, I like to have fun with a camera. And if you want to go from fun, the cameras I use at work, they're on the other end. They are tools. This is great fun. And this is the way I want to keep it. This is the way I'm enjoying photography at the moment. So hopefully, this is something that you can join me with too. And then have a bit of fun taking pictures. I hope. This is the plan. This is what I'm doing here. This is why I've put up a couple of lights. I don't know if it's any better, but I do have the lava lamp, and it's been on for ages, and it's slowly starting to melt. I should plan for the future. Put that on when I come in. When I come to recording a little show, that'll be working. But at the moment, it's not. This is all new to me. This is all, so it'll come together in time. But anyway, I think we should head out, take some colour pictures. I'm now walking along the waterfront in Dundee, going towards the V&A Museum. place of design. I don't know what it is. I've only ever been in once to go to the toilet. I think we'll get some nice shots. Of some colour. And like that, I won't know what these are going to look like either, because I've never used the standard colour filter on this, so I'm looking forward to it. So I have to say, it's still a rather brisk day. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. It was frozen yesterday in the studio, but today is not too bad at all. I don't think I'll take any pictures of the V&A itself because there's about 1 billion of them online. So we'll have a look around the area to see if there's anything better about, and then I can shoot that. So this is quite close to Dundee city centre. This is the new centre, as it were, down by the Discovery Point. So now we're coming up to Discovery Ship. Which, I'm not 100% on the story, but I went up to the ice, got stuck in it, or south, I don't know. I never paid attention in school. Now around Dundee, there is an excellent cycle path, and this is actually part of it. And I would do it most nights, and I would do about 24 miles a night, which I can't do anymore because I've got a bit of an injury. And I walk with a bit of a limp, but not to worry. This is why my walks are essentially very short and not too far, because I'm a bit limited in mobility at the moment. Now, I think I'm pretty much done because this is a limit on my walking. But we'll see how these colour photos turn out. And then next week we'll try something else and keep pushing these cameras to see what they can do. So until next time, I don't really have a way to sign off from these things, so I'll just see you next time.